Every summer, the same thing happens. Wax moth larvae destroy the frame. Small hive beetle lays eggs in the honeycomb. You buy chemical traps, you buy beetle traps, you throw away ruined frames. And the following summer, you start over. The modern beekeeping industry sells this cycle because they cannot sell prevention, only reaction. Amish beekeepers of the 1880s were never inside this cycle because they solved the problem without chemicals, without traps, without purchasing a single product. They rotated their frames in the right sequence at the right time with the right biological logic. And the moth and the beetle never got established. The method they used was not complicated. It was not invented by an exceptional beekeeper. It was the practical outcome of understanding two biological facts that the beekeeping supply industry has no commercial interest in teaching. Wax moth and small hive beetle both depend on old dark comb for successful reproduction and a frame rotation system that systematically removes old comb before it reaches the age at which it becomes a viable reproductive environment, eliminates both pests from the apiary simultaneously. Without a single purchased product, without a single chemical application, and without any management complexity beyond the rotation schedule itself. To understand why the Amish frame rotation system worked with such consistency, it is necessary to understand what wax moth and small hive beetle actually require in order to establish successfully in a managed colony. Because the modern beekeeping literature treats both pests as inevitable threats that must be chemically managed, when the biological reality is that both are highly conditional opportunists whose reproductive success depends on specific comb conditions that a well-managed rotation schedule systematically denies them. The greater wax moth, Galleria melanella, does not attack healthy comb indiscriminately. Its larvae require old comb for successful development because old brood comb contains accumulated cocoon silk from previous brood cycles, shed larval skins, and dried bee excrement embedded in the cell walls, organic material that the wax moth larva uses as a nutritional supplement during its development. A frame of new drawn comb from the current season contains almost none of this material. The larval survival rate on new comb is dramatically lower than on old comb. Commercial wax moth studies have consistently shown that larval establishment rates on comb less than 1 season old are a fraction of the rates on comb that has completed 2 or more brood cycles. The Amish rotation system exploited this biological vulnerability directly by removing frames from the colony before they completed their second full brood season. The rotation ensured that no frame in the apiary ever reached the age at which it became a reliable wax moth larval habitat. The small hive beetle operates on a similar conditional logic. Its larvae require dark enclosed spaces within the comb structure to complete their development without being killed by the colony's guard bees. Old, dark comb with thick cell walls and accumulated debris provides these spaces. Fresh, pale comb does not. The rotation that eliminated wax moth habitat simultaneously eliminated the small hive beetle's preferred developmental environment. The Amish frame rotation system, as practiced in the 1880s across Appalachian and Midwestern apiaries, operated on a specific schedule that was calibrated not to a calendar date, but to the observable condition of the comb itself. Specifically, its color, its cell wall depth, and the number of brood cycles visibly embedded in its structure. New drawn comb has a characteristic pale cream or light gold color. After one full season of brood rearing, typically one spring, summer, and autumn cycle, the comb darkens to a medium amber as the first layer of cocoon silk accumulates in the cell walls. After 2 full seasons, the comb has reached a deep amber brown. After 3 seasons, it has entered the zone of deep darkness that characterizes comb the Amish called overripe, old enough that its structural integrity was declining, old enough that its cocoon content had reached the threshold at which wax moth larvae could establish reliably, and old enough that its contribution to colony health was declining rather than increasing. The Amish rotation schedule targeted this transition point. Frames were pulled from the brood nest at the end of their second full season, before they crossed into the third season darkness, and replaced with drawn empty comb or fresh foundation. The pulled frames were not immediately discarded. Those in good structural condition were moved to the outer positions of the honey super, where they would be used for nectar storage rather than brood rearing. In this position, they received no further cocoon accumulation. Their existing content was not added to, and they could be used for 2 to 3 additional seasons as honey storage frames before being retired for wax rendering. The retirement was not waste. The old wax was rendered into blocks, traded with candle makers, used for hive coating, or sold at farm markets. The rotation system produced no disposal problem because it incorporated a complete use chain for every frame from first use through final rendering. The implementation of the rotation system in the context of an active colony required the Amish beekeeper to understand one additional biological principle that modern beekeeping instruction rarely emphasizes with sufficient clarity: the importance of not rotating frames during the active brood season. A brood frame removal from the center of a functioning brood nest during the spring or summer months disrupts the thermal continuity of the brood cluster, requires the nurse bees to reorganize their attendance pattern around the new frame placement, and can temporarily reduce the laying rate of the queen as the brood nest geometry is altered. The Amish rotation was an autumn operation performed after the primary honey harvest, after the main nectar flow had ended, and before the colony had formed its winter cluster. At this point in the season, the brood nest was naturally contracting. The colony was consolidating its population toward the winter cluster configuration, and the outer brood frames were already being vacated by the queen's reduced autumn laying rate. The rotation of these outer brood frames at this moment imposed minimal disruption because the colony was already in the process of vacating them. The new foundation, or drawn comb, inserted in their place provided fresh spring laying space that would be ready for the queen's expanding brood pattern when she resumed full laying in late February and early March. This timing alignment, autumn rotation synchronized with the colony's natural brood nest contraction, was the biological precision that made the Amish system both effective and minimally disruptive. It worked with the colony's seasonal rhythm rather than against it. The modern beekeeping approach to frame replacement, when it is performed at all, is typically reactive, removing frames only after damage has occurred, often during the active season when the disruption cost is highest, and never following a systematic schedule that would have prevented the damage from occurring in the first place. The storage of the retired brood frames during the period between their removal from the colony and their eventual use as honey superframes, or their retirement for wax rendering, was the stage of the rotation system where the most common management errors occurred in historical records. And it was the stage that the Amish handled with a specific physical storage practice that modern beekeeping has almost entirely abandoned. A brood frame removed from the colony in October and stored improperly in an enclosed space stacked flat in warm conditions is highly vulnerable to wax moth infestation during its storage period, even though it was removed before reaching the full infestation threshold inside the hive. The moth does not need a colony to establish in stored comb. A single mated female moth can locate stored comb by scent, lay eggs, and produce a generation of larvae in stored frames that are warmer than 50 degrees Fahrenheit within weeks of the frames being placed in storage. The Amish solution to this problem was elegant in its simplicity and completely free: cold storage combined with vertical stacking. Frames stored outdoors in a sheltered but unheated structure, a barn corner, an outbuilding, an open-sided shed. Through the winter months, experienced temperatures that routinely dropped below the 50-degree threshold at which wax moth larvae can survive. The cold killed any eggs or early-stage larvae that may have been deposited before storage temperatures dropped. Frames stored vertically rather than horizontally, leaning against a wall or standing in a rack, eliminated the enclosed dark spaces between stacked flat frames that provide the ideal laying environment for adult moths. A vertically stored frame in a cold, unheated space presented almost no viable wax moth habitat. A horizontally stacked pile of frames in a warm, enclosed shed was an invitation. The Amish stored frames vertically in the cold. Their stored comb emerged from winter in the same condition it entered. Every modern beekeeper who has pulled stored frames from a warm garage in March and found them destroyed by wax moth encountered a problem that the Amish solved with a shed, a vertical rack, and an Ohio winter. The broader economic and biological argument the Amish frame rotation system made, and continues to make, on the farms where it is still practiced, was not simply that it prevented wax moth and small hive beetle damage. It was that it prevented them while simultaneously producing a series of other colony health benefits that the modern beekeeping literature has consistently undervalued relative to the chemical management approach it replaced. Old brood comb is not simply a pest habitat. It is also a disease reservoir. American foul brood spores can survive in old brood comb for decades, remaining viable and infectious long after a disease event has apparently resolved. Nosema spores accumulate in old comb at rates proportional to the number of brood cycles the comb has hosted. The chronic, low-level disease pressure that many apiaries experience without ever tracing it to its source is often rooted in the accumulation of old, dark comb that was never systematically rotated out. A rotation schedule that removes comb every 2 seasons removes the primary physical reservoir in which these pathogens accumulate, reducing the chronic disease background of the apiary without any treatment, without any diagnostic testing, and without any purchased intervention. The Amish understood this connection not as microbiology, which they had no language for, but as observation. Apiaries with regular comb renewal had fewer unexplained brood problems than apiaries that kept their comb indefinitely. The rotation was not performed because someone told them that old comb harbored foul brood spores. It was performed because the beekeepers who renewed their comb had healthier colonies across seasons, and the connection between the practice and the outcome was observable and consistent enough to be passed from generation to generation as a management standard rather than as optional advice. The Amish frame rotation system, understood in its complete form, was not a single act of frame removal performed once and forgotten. It was a continuous biological management cycle that operated simultaneously on 3 timescales: the 2-season brood frame renewal cycle that denied wax moth its primary larval habitat, the seasonal synchronization with autumn brood contraction that minimized colony disruption, and the winter cold storage protocol that eliminated any residual moth eggs or larvae from frames awaiting their next use assignment. Each of these 3 elements was necessary for the system to function as described. A rotation schedule without cold storage produced frames that arrived in spring with moth damage accumulated during warm storage. Cold storage without a rotation schedule produced clean stored frames that returned to the brood nest and quickly darkened past the 2-season threshold because they had not been systematically renewed. The rotation cycle without autumn timing produced disruption costs that outweighed the pest prevention benefits. Together, the 3 elements formed a self-sustaining management system that required no purchased inputs after its initial setup, generated no waste product that was not productively recovered as wax, imposed minimal labor above the baseline inspection and hive management routine, and produced a pest-free, disease-low apiary environment that compounded in benefit with each successive season of consistent application. The modern beekeeping industry replaced this system not by developing anything superior to it on biological merit, but by developing chemical treatments and purchased traps that were easier to market, required annual purchasing, and could be sold to beekeepers who had never been taught why old dark comb was the problem rather than a symptom. The solution was always in the comb age. The Amish knew it in 1880. 2 centuries of clean frames confirm it. Leave a comment below. How old is the oldest brood comb currently in your hive? If you do not know, you now know what your next inspection should be looking for. If this breakdown gave you a clearer picture of what a chemical-free pest management system actually looks like when it is built on biology rather than products, subscribe. There is more thinking like this where it came from.